Well, Mukesh Kapila is a former United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator for Sudan. He joins us from Groningen in the Netherlands. And so for over a year now, we have seen horrific levels of violence in Sudan, indiscriminate and deliberate attacks against civilians. But now, in this particular location of el-Fasher, how worrying is this that violence and chaos has broken out in this particular town?
Well, it looks as if the end is coming to the fighting in Darfur, in this logistically and politically important Darfur regional capital. What that means is that the RSF is really trying to consolidate its position generally in the region, and the armed forces of Sudan are fighting a last-ditch battle. What that means is that the unfortunate civilians caught in the middle are suffering from both directions, both the RSF as well as the Sudanese Armed Forces. None of them are known for their allegiance to humanitarian law or human rights. And so we have increasing desperation, displacement, and destruction, with, I think, civilians having less and less options at their disposal. And the lucky ones might get away, but then even getting away is actually fraught with risks and dangers, heading towards the Chadian border, which is quite a long way away. And so I think it's a desperate situation overall.
Yeah, because a lot of the people who were there were seeking refuge for themselves and, of course, their loved ones. They've already suffered the pain of displacement. How protracted might the battle be between the Sudanese army and the RSF for the el-Fasher, the state capital of North Darfur? Because, of course, the longer it goes on for, the more people will die.
Indeed. I mean, it sounds perverse to say this because we wouldn't want the fighting to continue. But quite frankly, it would be better if this theater of conflict in el-Fasher reached its climax as soon as possible. I think based on the track record of the RSF and what they've done in the rest of the Darfur region, in the other states of that region, I think clearly they are well-funded, well-supported, and they have their logistics and their support systems around them, while the Sudanese army is, I think, running out of options. So it seems to me it is only a matter of time before the RSF take control. But the worry is what they will do once they have unfettered control of the town. And again, based on their past track record in other places, Niala, elsewhere in the region, they will unleash even more atrocities on the poor civilians. You know, people all over Darfur have been tortured, raped, and worse. And of course, starved and with no healthcare available.
And so what are the implications? What are the implications of that not just the battle for el-Fasher, but the RSF consolidating its control of this area for the distribution of aid supplies to people?
Well, apart from another sort of outburst of genocidal violence, we're going to see possibly a de facto partition of the country. So with the RSF consolidating their hold in this vast region, Darfur, you know, is the size of France. So it's a very huge region. So that will be one thing. And this is going to make peace more difficult if we are thinking of, one, keeping the country together as Sudan, and two, finding some accommodation between the two sides. Remember, there are also other paramilitary groups as well. So every day that passes, the picture gets even more confused because other smaller military groups, including those receiving support from outside and neighboring countries, are joining in the fray. And that further confusion means that any attempts towards finding some kind of peaceful resolution becomes even more complex.
Well, thank you very much for helping us understand the atrocities and the devastation in that region. Mukesh Kapila.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.